So I was thinking about this because of the Reddit posts I saw for Ask Reddit or whatever. I forget which ones they were. Truthfully, like what character like said something, blah blah blah. I don't know. Anyways, it's Ozymandias, and I saw somewhere in the actual comments below one of the people that said this. But it's like I'm more on Captain America's side, who said that there were innocent people, all this, and I'm like, all right, so you're gonna have to give me a second on this. Right, but I'm actually more on Captain American's side than Ozzy's side, right? And there's a good number of reasons here, but I'm gonna fucking poke at all the heroes in Marvel Comics first, right? And probably help you understand where it comes from, okay? So in these comics, we already know that a large number of people actively, kind of create their own psyop, mission-y type of things. They control some of the masses, right? Like, they already kind of play loose and fast with people's, innocent lives to begin with, right? You know what I mean? Like, standard stuff, like, how is it that you choose? They're going to go through buildings, blah, 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 blah. Standard stuff, right? Because, like, clearly you do. You make choices every fucking day, right? But it's like, hey, you know what Ozzy didn't do? Little fucking Diaz, whatever, right? Like, I'm the possibly smartest fucking goddamn Marvel character ever. That's what I am, right? Or some bullshit like that, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, no, except actually you're stupid. First off, you didn't set up like about 10 years ahead of time, like a bunch of different little psyop missions, and people are finding them. They're figuring out, that kind of thing is going on, trying to manipulate them. You didn't get like, hey, this one that's a little going too far to galvanize them against all these things. Maybe we should get together a little bit. And then these ones that are obviously bad and wrong, making sure that that's happening. They figure it out, so that way they did this work and they feel really good, and like they can trust that that's a thing, right? And so I can trust that I found out all the bad things. It's not us. And you set up ones to make sure that that's also there going on for the galvanization of everyone. And then you didn't go like, I'm going to remove all these more innocent people, all this, and have the big telepathic ginormous squid bitch fucking go, you think you're fucking evil and bad? All of you evil supervillain bad people, I'm way better than you. I'm going to fucking send you right to where I'm at and fight you right here. You didn't do that. You didn't do any of that. They'd find out and make sure that, none of that. Oh, wait, but and then, like, that's a big question. I can totally doubt you on that one and all the rest of it. And I did this work and you clearly don't know anything and you're fucking stupid. Stuff like that, right? He doesn't do that. He goes, no, I'll just fucking throw it out there. I'll just, here. I'm not going to make sure that those innocents and more of the bad evil ones, come along with. And, like, it really ruins and wrecks the majority of all the badder evil. Like, I help maybe some of them out with some of the powers, but then, like, it takes me down a little bit and I can't do it anymore. Some bullshit like that, right? And everybody believes that it's definitely the case that that's the case. For long enough as they fight the thing and, there's a big drop in all the evil bad people. And then over enough period of time, it goes, you know what I mean? It's like, right. No, you don't do anything good, Ozzy. You just wanted to fuck around, man. That's really all that is. You're stupid. That's a stupid move. Why didn't you do it correctly? Why didn't you do it the right way? Why didn't you fucking properly set up enough time? Like, you already know that a large percentage of our own real world right here, corporations and governments and all the lives that they like to play with influencers. Hey, we're gonna do a little like basic advertising, on this thing that's about to come out, blah 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 blah. And then like, hey, I actually got like access to information I shouldn't. I know one person or another. It's not real espionage though. Before this video comes out, that way I can be on that fad, ready to go, get this shit going. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. To this fucking view and idea, and it's gonna fucking start off grassroots like all the rest of them that have billions of dollars play around with all of our lives already. And I found out, and like nobody actually took any stock, and they didn't really like stop doing it, and nobody really kind of cared that we found that out, for what it's worth. And they're still there, still voted Trump in too, and on that side, you know what I mean. Right, still got QAnon, although like nobody fucking talks about them outwardly, but like they're still very much there. Like a lot of this is actually the opposite of what a person trying to challenge me saying that would be. You know what I mean? Like, hey, no, that's not really, and oh no, I wouldn't post that, and I wouldn't have that go to this insert whatever website it is for some news or some bullshit like that. You know what I mean? And then like a lot of people commenting on it, and then they always think that like that's real socialization, and you know, same on, so on, you know, to that side, same on to that side, you know, that kind of thing, right? You know, but then and Ozzy, like really super smart, sees all the things. He doesn't want to do this. He sees all the things, right? Meanwhile, my ass goes, I don't see everything. Are you fucking for real? You fucking cunts? What? No. But you can absolutely do that. In fact, we've already exposed them doing that multiple times. But give me the evidence. Well, I'll never change, and you know, you have to pay attention to me. Give me attention. I can shut you down, please. You know, do that thing where I matter. I matter. I matter. I can doubt. I mean, you have to get me on your side. I can draw a few hundred, maybe 1,000 away from your stuff that are wrong, and we're way smarter, no more. I'm like, okay, yeah, I didn't care about that. So, you know, keep having fun and ruling over them and getting them to work together to do whatever the hell that is, you know. Queen, whatever the fuck her name was, Romana or some shit over there in, you know, good old Canada land. Right? Standard bullshit, still hasn't really gone away, you know, to various degrees. You know what I mean? Right? So there's that. But it's like Ozzy, like, you know, I'm over here just floating around in space, you know, do my thing. I can fucking genetically alter a ginormous squid, have like telepathic abilities, all this shit. I can't fucking figure out how to do this. I can't fucking do this. I work with like what, Nick Fury? Which one did you want? Like Shield? I mean, there's like quite a few, truthfully. They're all kind of like in bed and talking together, which is also just a commentary for what it's worth for the writers for what goes on in our own shit. Right? Like I'm not supposed to call directly out certain things, but like, you know, it's what that is in a lot of ways when you think about it. Like, I don't want to genetically alter any of my soldiers or spies or something. I've never experimented with drugs on any of my soldiers, and that's come out and been declassified either. No. Made sure nobody recorded, you know, certain scandals, gate, water stuff, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Before I was always all the time, though. That's what that... Yeah, anyways, point is, right, I'm Ozzy, and if I wouldn't have had, you know, and then I'll reveal that I'm dumb as fuck, and I didn't have any of this, I'm not going to switch it. I'm not going to make sure to, like, plan ahead. Like, I'm on his side, you know, Captain America's side, right? 100 fucking %, right? But it's like, he's almost there, he's just stupid. Right? Because it's like, no, I don't have enough time to think, and I have to say something really something, you know what I mean, to the guy right then and there. And as the writer that actually has to make it, same, right? Like, I need to be poignant, I need to be, like, within the character. I'm like, I'm just behind Captain. Like, you're right, but I got this for you, don't worry. You're wrong, you stupid fuck. You're a dumb fucking cunt, Ozzy. You play like you're smart, but you're stupid. You can genetically alter things like that. You can teleport things around. You can't figure out a way to get people to go like, hey, guess what? I see all of that now. You know what I mean? Going on, right? Like, what the fuck? Or, hey, you know what? I might play it like this. And then, like, we always have an acceptable amount of innocent lives lost. Every one of us. So, you know, right? Like, you can't do that. Right? Like, you're fucking doing that every fucking day. Right? Like, you're helping the very people that are doing that every fucking day. Like, you know what I mean? What the fuck? Right? So it's like, no, it's between you doing that to me, us innocent civilians, versus big monster. And I have hope for Job Guy that we make sure do that. Fighty, and he doesn't, or they don't. You know, that thing. So there's that. Right? And it's like, that's it. Behold, right? You know, like, oh, yeah, no, like, you caught us. Yeah, no, like, except for, like, no, that's definitely the case. That's what the books are. You know what I mean? Like, it's always revealed eventually that there's this other thing going on. Right? Like, it's always there. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, and then Ozzy's like, no, I'm, and then this would finally, and that might mess up, and I'm so fucking smart and intelligent, but I could never, like, fucking do that over enough time, and, like, make sure it doesn't cause that. What is this? Other than a bunch of people that are the writers that went, hey, yeah, see, like, we can't reveal that much. That would be a bad thing. You know, the people that are there reading this need to believe a bunch of bullshit that we also used to believe until we got to the point where we're actually pretty decently good at selling you shit. You know what I mean? So, like, that's what that is. I'd rather that you didn't really, you know, happen to see me disappear randomly or get some cancer or have an accident on the road, or I just suddenly became a massive drunk and it was, you know, totally wasn't thinking about it, you know what I mean? Right? Like, you know, random things that tend to happen to everyone. Always. That are really famous. All the time. Consistently. That are, for what it's worth, very like Alan Turing. He just happened to have a heart attack after he was no longer needed in the military and helping them with the Enigma machine and more. Good old Alan Turing. Or how about that, like, 230-something IQ guy that was going, like, and capitalism is bad, and I wrote a book, and, you know, everybody knows I'm really smart. And it's basically stating that our current way of doing anything governmentally and so on is bad, and we should change that. He happened to have a heart attack. Anybody remember that? I remember that. They didn't really have as many good tools for those autopsies back then, you know what I mean? Like, that one's always fun. But it's like, that's just a conspiracy because allege. And you don't know. It's alleged that maybe any of that could possibly happen. But they confirmed that they missed Fidel Castro like fucking thousands of times. Yeah, no, they don't have a historical precedent for trying. I wonder if they were just better at it when they're on their own soil, you know what I mean? They have more knowledge and, you know, that kind of stuff, right? You know? Anyways, and there's not like a big group of people trying to prevent them that are in another country, perhaps. You can't. I'm like, no, but we're talking about Marvel, not also our own real world that for sure definitely has that going on no matter fucking what. Not an allegory. Certainly no symbolic, metaphorical kind of thing there that they were doing in the stories. This is some super smart guy in the past for Ozymandias, and I can genetically, and then they'll galvanize all this. So you don't know about the conversations had behind closed doors with richer people. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. But like, I guess they didn't really do that, except they did certainly create like cloud. What was that thing again? The streaks in the sky, apparently. That means that we're all going to die. Because they were all like, and then we bomb, but in no way, we're just crop dusting, really. You know, predominantly black, you know, male cities, or female, you know, black people, really, honestly. But, like, it then got turned into what it is, doesn't it? Like, ultimately show itself off to be what it is. It's not really much more of a conspiracy theory, truthfully. But back then, yeah, a lot of people were sick and dying. And it was bad of us to, I guess, you know, go after them, saying that you can't experiment on prisoners that are predominantly black people with, you know, syphilis and many other things, actually. Yeah, we don't have a historical precedent for these kinds of people getting away with that either. Right? No? And you're not like always making the joke of the FBI is always watching you for no, yeah, it's just no, you know, like a fad meme, and it's gone away really since like more of that, like Section 702 alone has come out, you know. Just imagine I'm holding like fucking your entire mind, you know, in a way. Like, and you're really smart, right? None of this is playing itself out, huh? None of that's going on. There aren't like previous and over and then psyop and then we need to like totally make you not believe in conspiracies of any sort and don't look at us and you're getting really close and you can maybe like fucking investigate or any of that stuff. You can't do any of that. You can't get that going. They couldn't do any of these ways of observing us using multiple different, what is this, radio, Wi-Fi, cell. Actually, Didn't we already confirm that one? Yeah, we did, didn't we? But that's only bleeding edge over there, not with think tanks of large amounts of money that for sure have an incentive to do it to everyone that they could want to. With basic bare minimum of data they could just buy too. They don't have enough money. No, and they're not in bed with each other. No, none of that's a thing, really. Sure. And most hackers basically tell you, hey, guess what? All of your regular router modem things that you buy, like that are firmware-wise always out of date as fuck and never really get updated fast enough. And it seems like they're always hacked pretty quickly. But certainly, or your operating system, Windows, or even the encrypted Mac. You need a back door to give us. We're going to tell you over here. We aren't doing that, by the way. We haven't confirmed that back in the 2000s, or even the companies themselves showing off that that's a thing easily that they could. Also, what is it that you want to say? Like that you're scared? Let's just say that you're scared. There's no way that they're not ultimately doing that. You know that. Okay? So it's like you were wrong. You already showed on Reddit too that they already delete shit off your fucking computer that you had nothing you could do to stop them, huh? It's not a public computer. That's your private fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the FBI here in America. And then that just quietly just went away over in la fucking Reddit land. Like, what? I would prefer not to know about things that contradict my ability to challenge you. Yeah, no, we know about you, Republican. Shut up. You know what I mean? Like, learn to be quiet, corporal or whatever version ultimately you are. You know, like, I can definitely get them, you know, somewhere, and you know what I mean. They'll treat me really well if I do that. Flatter them, right? Standard bullshit. Like, I need to make it so that way you don't sound credible and like you make sense. Like, I'm Ozymandias over here, or Ozymandias, or whichever one you want to be, right? Whatever, next, he's an anti-hero that had to get it done. Call the herd. Call them, C-U-L-L. Call them. It was good COVID happened because the dummies that were made to mistrust things. You know, my ass. You just did that. Like, in no way. You just basically just didn't do anything. Fucking talk about a spin, you fucker. Fucking retards over here. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you did. Right? That's held back, hindered belief systems. That's retardation. That's what you are. But it's like, hey, look, I'm going to try and make it somewhere. You never know. Right? I'm just the dumb guy that has all the diagnoses that make it so I'm not valid, and there'd be no reason for any of that. Right? And I make no sense, and you certainly don't want to actually, like, oh, I don't know, do the work, listen, know even what I'm even saying. It just looks like word salad to a bunch of actual stupid people that don't know anything about what it is I'm even talking about. Even after it's been dumbed down for you. That problem. You know what I mean? Anyways, I just wanted to talk about it because it's like, well, you know, it's rich coming from what it's worth, Marvel here. The whole fucking group of them, all the heroes, like that even in any aspect, they make sense. You know what I mean? Right? Like, no, most of you have amazing talents and skills that could 100% make it so your world has no issues with any resources, any energy, any food, anything. You have no need to even care about being able to figure out with all of the history of your past precedent and more for how you raise and nurture each other, let alone even your genetics. With all of the fucking goddamn amazing level of computers that are in your stories, all of this fucking big brain motherfucker shit. You've got all of the history of all your genetics, mutations even, and you can't figure out how to like fucking do it right. But it's like, that's because you're stupid and run by a bunch of dumb fucks that write your stories. They're stupid. It's a good story, I guess, but it falls apart rapidly. I totally love turning off, right, and just enjoying it. But when you break it down, they're dumb. Every one of them is dumb as a box of doornails. Not a single one of their whole fucking universes would exist like they claim they do, because they wouldn't do that. The smart or even basic common sense would go like, well, why would I do it? I could just like have everything else that I want. Why would I do this? I could go live in another universe that's perfect for me too. Why would I fucking ever do any of this? This is dumb bullshit. I could make my entire universe better. I could do anything that I want that makes it so it's good again. Ever have been good. Really, honestly, it could be good for once. Truthfully speaking. Right? You know, like, my go over here, it'll be great again. And it was never great. It was never good. There was never anything good there. That's the facts. You know? But, like, that's the rapey fucking, I need to be able to fucking keep my wife in my marriage. I'm gonna leave the United Kingdom place to be able to do that. And then, like, genetically just fucking constantly keep killing people and raping and all that as we make a fucking country. You know, I just fucking tell you con man style or con person style, really. You know, that I'll totally get you back on that. I'm Tom Sawyer wishes he could be me, you know. Fuck you, natives. What the fuck? Most of everything that we're taught in school for our history is wrong to, like, full-on over-embellished hyperbole levels of bad. And it's like watching a bunch of motherfuckers, that's your face, I'm just switching in between me and you, right? You know, the one that's trying to challenge me, all that. You know, standard bullshit. I do that all the time. It's like a constant bit I do. Like, always. Right? But it's like, okay, wait. But also, like, in all ways, every one of them are, like, basically just carrying on a tradition generationally that's been going on for that long. Right? And so it's like, wait, no. It's not. And it's like, don't worry, I made sure. Look, yeah, feel the vibes, man. It's just the vibes. You just gotta vibe it out. There's no evidence or anything. I know I'm right, though. You know? You can never look it up. You know, man, you just gotta vibe with the universe, bro. Does it sell the bit? Does it sell it for all of you fucking loser, lame-o, bitch, fuck, goddamn contrarian, I have a competition, I'm smarter than you persons? You know what I mean? Does it sell it yet? Like, look, I'm just gonna fucking hurt you constantly by being like that fucking long-haired little hippie weasel. He keeps fucking saying shit, and you don't even have like anything other than disability, and you're wrong, and all that. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm disabled too. That must really hurt that like you're still stupid to that person. It makes a lot of sense. I don't like this. People are gonna not go along with me. I was gonna say a different way that. So that way they go along with me. And I have to write that differently now. Before I practice it. And then I go over and tell my friends that. That way they'll know. And I'm like, what's up, Ozymandias? Or Mendias? What's up, loser? Smartest guy ever, huh? Fucking lame! You couldn't figure out a better... You have all the ways that you can change the gen... You couldn't do the nurture change. You couldn't fucking change any of the government. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't do it. I'm so smart I can't figure out all the fucking pieces. I couldn't spend all the effort and time not doing anything with the squid. I couldn't fucking do that. Well, I did. So there's that. Got you beat on that one, Ozzy. Fucking, you know, Cap and all the rest of us are gonna go off and do this shit. Fuck you, stupid cunt.